I do hope you're doing well. Right, we're going with the definition of a messy bun. You know, like when you see how it should look to how it looks on you. That's the vibe today, my lovelies. As you can tell, I'm in my comfies. I've got my blanket. We've got our hot drink, and that means it is another monthly episode of a sit down with Shan. So get your drink of choice ready, whether that be a hot drink, a cold drink, an alcoholic beverage, whatever you want. Because this month, I think our topic is going to be talking about our mental health, a healthy mind, how we deal with an unhealthy mind, any tips and tricks that we have. I asked over on my Instagram any bits and bobs that you had to do with the mind and the mental health and all of that jazz. And we should be going through it in this video today. So as I say, get comfy, get cozy, and let's just have another little catch up, shall we? Right, my lovelies. So as I say, we are all tucked up in my blanket. Absolutely love this throw. I picked it up from, was it B&M last month, I think? Yeah, picked it up, love it. It was part of that garden range, but as you can tell, it goes very nice with the bedding. So let's stop a rabbiting. I hope you're all well, my lovelies. As I say, I asked you over on my lifestyle Instagram. I have a lifestyle and a food. I'll leave them down in the descriptions box below. And I just said, any questions you had regarding mental health or any tips you had on how to deal with it, how to have a clear, healthy mind, and all of that jazz. So we had quite a few responses, and let me just load them. So I think at the moment, because we're coming out of lockdown, as I say, we're gradually coming out of the phases, stuff's opening up, I have noticed there's been quite a lot of, not media publication, but on my Instagram, I follow a lot of mental health like programs, advocates, like people who set up their own little charities and people who have been through it a lot worse than myself. And their little quotes and like memes of the day, I love having a look over because it is so relevant to today. Like, as I've said before, when we was in like proper lockdown, when everything opens up, it's not going to be like, boom, everything's open, everything's fine. There is going to be a lot of people out there who are going to struggle to readjust to normal life as we knew it, because we've been cooped up for so long, we've had all the restrictions, the tears. And I personally, I've said from day one, and I will still say it now, throughout this whole lockdown period, I do not think there's been enough support for people with their mental health. If you can go to a shop with a mask on, or walk past someone in an aisle, or you can go and have cosmetic surgery, for example, or you can go and, I don't know, whatever you could do at that time, but you can't go and sit in a room with a mask if needed and talk to someone, I think that's where they've really let people down in a way. Because I know from previous experience, as I say, I've been all right. I've definitely had down moments, probably since like the first lockdown. March 2020, I think everything, we was off furlough, I was bored, so I was keeping myself busy. I went back to work, that was great. And then we started having all the jazz with the woman upstairs, and that's still ongoing. And when you're constantly not getting sleep, you're in a battle, you're getting like snooty little letters from the council because they don't want to do their job. And in all honesty, the first thing I want to do is go down that town hall and have it out with all of them, but I can't, because I have to go to work and pay for the rent for this roof over my head that they don't really seem to care about. And I went through a stage, I would say probably just before Christmas, I got really down, started like having bad thoughts again, and it was just becoming very unhealthy. Like, mum picked up straight away my behaviour change, and I said I need to go and see the doctor, and I couldn't. It was a telephone consultation, and I understand because it was like proper lockdown back in November. But even now, what's this? Sorry, Brandon, he's asking when he can have his sweets from the outlets. Anyway, even now, it's just, you still can't go and see a doctor. It's all telephone consultation. And I think now the shops have opened up, if you can go to a shop and you can go outside for dinner, why can I not say sit here in a room and have a doctor the other side of the room and we just talk? And I think it is a little bit backwards in my thinking, because I just think if you can do all these other things and everything's opening up, the medical sector and like the doctor sector, why are they not able to be there and like help people? There's nothing, it's nothing like, how can I put it? it's different talking to someone on the phone to face to face. When I was having to speak to the doctor on the phone and explain to him like what I was feeling, what I was thinking and all that, you can hear him typing away and all that. And I think it's completely different because my doctor unfortunately passed away, I think it was December time. So since then we've had just like, I think they call them like locum doctors or like fill-in doctors. And they don't know me from Adam. They just see my records and da 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 da. And it's like there's nothing worse when you're trying to convey a message and someone's just not getting it, and then they keep asking questions. And I'm like, I've already said that in there. Whereas if you was just face to face with someone, you could get it all out in the open. And like it'd be like a weight's being lifted off. It gets you out of the house if that's your only time to be out. It gets you face to face contact with someone else. Like, I do think there hasn't been enough, and I still don't think there is enough help out there at the moment. So that's why when I see like these little charities, I absolutely love it because they are doing all they can to help people. And I've actually got plenty of bags racked up. As you all know, I've done a huge declutter, and we are going through mum's room as well in the back room, and we divide them between our local cancer, mental health and a children's charity in the area. So very much looking forward to that. And as I say, if you've been following me a while, you will know I'm doing a 10k charity run for cancer research. It's like a race for life, doing that in September. So yeah, I like to do my bit for charity, and especially now coming up to the way things are, the charities I think have been hit the hardest because obviously they have to be careful of what they can take in, and obviously they've been shut, so they haven't been having the revenue from retail. Yeah, that's a complete rambles, but I don't think there has been enough. And as I say, from personal experience, I think people have been shut out, and it was just a case of, we'll give you some pills and that's it. And I tried the pills for about 2 months just over, and I've stopped them now. I'm trying to look for more like of a herbal remedy, because the pill, the first month, I didn't feel like they done anything like sod all. And then the second month, my God, my moods, like whole nother level. I was a lot more tetchy. It wouldn't settle me to sleep, even though they said like it helps you drift to sleep. It didn't. I was up all night. I could hear, it was like my hearing had been amplified. I could hear every little like scratch noise, everything. And it just put me very on edge. So I stopped them. I've got an appointment with the nurse next week. Again, telephone consultation, just for like my 6-month checkup for my contraceptive pill. Hey ho, still got to take it even though we're not seeing our partners, but just to be on the safe side. And I think I'll speak to her depending what nurse I get, because if it's my regular nurse, who I've seen many times face to face, I'll have a little chat with her, see if she can recommend anything, because at the minute I'm just looking for like herbal bits or bits and bobs to calm me. But on the adverse effect, there is nothing worse when, I don't know about you my lovelies, if you have had broken sleep, which I probably haven't had a decent night's sleep since October last year with the tenant upstairs. And I've done everything the council wanted, as you all know. I've had many a rant before on it, and they just do not give two flying beeps. I've had the head of resident services in emails. Do you think he can be bothered to reply? The manager of resident services, after waiting, I think it was 5 months for a response, she just said sorry for the delay and said that I wouldn't be assigned a new tenancy officer because they were understaffed. Well, I'm sorry, maybe if your staff didn't mock people's mental health, when I'd sat there and said that I'd had suicidal thoughts and she laughed, that is a council tenancy officer laughing at you when you've just said you've had suicidal thoughts. They don't feel that that's necessary to change that, because I said I don't feel comfortable talking to her anymore. So that battle is ongoing as always, and I think that's had a bit of a detrimental effect, because you just feel such like always in a negative space. Like you come home and there's like a snooty little letter, or I've got a snotty little email I've got to deal with, and I think, you know what, the minute I stop paying this rent, they won't do anything. The only thing they'll do is send a letter to evict us. They won't try and help. They won't look at why we've stopped paying the rent, because I said to Mum, I get very tetchy lately. Why should I go to work to pay full rent for here because we don't get any help? Even though we're in council, I think there's a lot of stigma with council that you get rent paid for you and all of that. No, that don't happen here. We pay full rent, full bills. The council tax in my area is ridiculous. I pay to have smashed glass in my street for 3 months sitting outside. So when my tyre pops, the council going to pay for it? Don't think so. And it is just like you think neg. It's just on you all the time. And then as soon as I would stop paying the rent, all they would want to do is just get you out. And I think I've had counsellors involved, I've got the local MP involved, and he's just like, I don't know what more we can do. He said, like, he's spoken to like the head of whatever. He said, and they're just like passing it off. I said, but I tell you now, if it got into a physical altercation, it wouldn't be her that they would crack down on. It would be me, because I'd be seen as like the youngster and all of that. Not like that I've been the one kept up for 6 months. Like, honestly, I remember, what video was it? Was it one of the Christmas vlogs? And I put one of the noise recordings in. I'll try and, if I can find that, I'll leave it down below. And they tried to tell me that that's normal noise. No, you're coming through my ceiling. Like, you're making my chandelier sound like Santa's sleigh's going above my roof with the amount of jingles it's doing. But yeah, so I do think there's a lot of stuff that can build up. But I try now reading, as you all know. The best way, I think, that was one of the questions. What was it on there? Someone said how they find to do it. So someone said, nice long baths of an evening, music on, eye mask on. Love that. Having an eye mask on in the bath. What a pamper. Reading, doing my daily journals and a to-do list. Love a to-do list. Going for a run. I'm halfway there. I'm doing fast walks and jogs with Mama G. I'm not quite at the running stage yet. I've got until September for me run. So, you know, I'm breaking myself in gently. And this was a good one. Where was it? I had quite a few responses. I really liked it on this one, guys. Where was it? Ah, this was it. Anything that gives you negative vibes, removing yourself from that space or energy. I thought that was a really good one. And it's not until like you think about it, that is actually probably one of the best things you can do for your mind. Let me have a quick sip of my drink and then we'll have another chit chat, all right? So, sorry, I just needed to reposition myself. I was getting a bit of a headache. Let's put my little cushion there. There we go. I mean, messy bum vibes and all that. So, hi. Also, if this is your first video, you're probably thinking, wow, she looks like a slob. We're very relaxed in these videos, my lovelies. We have our drinks. We're in our little loungewear sets or pyjamas. Got our blanket and we're just comfy, casual, right? So, removing yourself from a negative energy, place, person. Oh my god, I cannot agree with that enough. I think, let's try not to knock my coffee, that is probably the best advice that you can give someone. I have definitely noticed it. I think probably through lockdown it's been heightened, because I don't know about you, everyone's been locked up obviously, but there have been exceptions, the influencers that went abroad. And you don't want to go on your Instagram and see them in Dubai loving life when you're stuck in whatever area. Like, I'm stuck in Essex, which wasn't the best because everywhere was shut down. And our weather was absolutely appalling, weren't it? You think last April, when everything was shut, the sun was shining. This April, everything got like opened up. We had rain, we had snow, it was blistering winds. That was the universe trying to tell us something, I think. And you go on and I was like, oh my god. And I have started certain days, I try and have like social media free days or very minimal. So you know me with my lifestyle and my food Instagram, I upload every single day, whether it's 1 post or 3 posts. I haven't failed an upload since 1st of January 2020. I started it on the beginning of 2020 because I thought new year, new decade, gonna start life. So I go on there. If it is a minimal day, I will literally upload my post and that'll be it. I won't do anything. I have also started going through, I went through my Facebook the other day, and you know, it sounds horrible, but you know, like Facebook, I don't really use. I only have it to speak to Nana M up north because that's her little way of communication. There was so many people on there, like from school, that I hadn't spoken to for years. Some I hadn't spoken to since I left school. And I just thought, why do I need to have you on there? And I had a big clear out, not just friends, I had a big clear out of family as well, because there was a lot of stuff that was brewing. And you know when you just think, no, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, personally, Mama G says I'm very cold and I'm very like cutthroat. I look at it, if you're not going to benefit my life, or I don't have like a feeling when we see you or whatever, and you're not going to change my life whether you're in it or you're not, I'm very much like, cut out, goodbye. prime example of this is at my little auntie's funeral we had earlier in the week. We had a family member there which we haven't spoken to or seen since my nan's funeral, and they walked over like nothing had happened, like it hadn't been 7 years. There was no problem, like they hadn't left on bad terms. And Mama G, I thought she would crumble. Me and Dada had a bet that she would crumble. She didn't. She walked away. Well, she kind of like hurriedly walked away, bless her, because she don't deal with confrontation good. And I just turned my head away. And I think that person got the hint and left us alone for that day, because it weren't to be discussed about our like problem. We was there for Auntie. It was a lovely day. The weather was lovely. It's a little bit chilly in the morning, but it brightened up in the afternoon. We had our blankets at the wake and all that. And yeah, it was a lovely turnout. But I just had this thing, like, it sounds harsh and people are probably going to slay me, but I think even if you're family, if I don't see anything of you benefiting me, or like if I don't think, oh, I wonder how they're doing, like, oh, I'll drop a message. If I haven't messaged them in like a year, 2 years, I think, well, clearly I ain't been bothered about you, and vice versa, you haven't been bothered about me. And I'm very much like that with friendships, because I'm very much like Mama G in a way. Like, it would always be me reaching out. I'd always send the messages, I'd always make the calls, want to meet up. And then I got to probably, I'd say, probably when I got single. What was I, 22? I think. 21, 22. 22, I think. And I just thought, because I noticed people started to crop up when they realised like something weren't right. And was like, oh, are you not with so-and-so? And, oh, are you on your own? I'm thinking, you ain't spoke to me in how many years? And now you're just digging for information, and I ain't even going to entertain that. So yeah, I had a big clear out this week of friends and some family members, and Mum and Dada luckily don't have social media, so that's great, but they kind of understand bits and bobs of it. My Dada hates Facebook. He says it is nothing but a beep stirring site. He don't have anything to do with it all. He just says it's hard to say, but it's very attention seeking, I find sometimes. And as I say, I very rarely put anything on there. It's just, if I do anything, I put it on there so me nan can see and nan can interact on that. But Instagram, I went through, had a big clear out. And I just think, you know what? It's people, I don't know if you get this, you know, like, I call them like the spies. So they don't speak to you in ages and ages, but they always watch your story. They always like your post. And I think, but you don't ever message me. So I feel like you're doing that just to keep a tab on me, especially if we've got, say, some friends that were friends of myself and my exes. And it was clear to see which side that went on when we split up. But yeah, I had a big split. I had a big, like, a spring clean, let's say, of all my social medias. And I've just realised we went on such a detour on that. But yes, removing yourself from negative places, negative people, negative energy. Why do you need that? We need all the positivity here, my lovelies. We're not a negative channel here. We're all positive. And just in life general, we need to be positive. As I say, I'm thinking if we're not getting abroad this year, we're going to have another couple of log cabins. I mean, like, hey, every cloud has a silver lining. Is that the saying? I think so. But yes, I love that one, removing yourself from negative space. I also did have a few which made me laugh, saying, well, come on, we're not shy here, but they said a very good way to relieve some stress is with your partner. Now, I don't know about you, my lovelies, but if you're lucky enough to live with your partner, fan-dabby-dozy. For those of us who are in relationships and don't live with our partners, and we're still not allowed in the house currently, I feel you feel me, it's been a struggle. I've seen so many memes and videos and TikToks about when couples reunite for the first time when we're actually allowed to stay over, and oh my god, it just cracks me up, because that is probably what it's going to be. A lot of us are going to maybe have, what, 10-30 seconds of wonder, and then that's it, because it's been a while. What's it been like since Christmas? But hey ho. And I find there was a lot of comments on there, like, regarding mental health, that if they was away from their partners, like, that's had a big detrimental effect, which I completely understand that. As I say, the first lockdown, as you will know from my theory, let's have a catch up, I'll leave it down there up above, you know the drill. I really struggled on the first lockdown, but I think this time I've been alright. I've kept myself busy. I've had, like, YouTube to focus on. I've done my Instagram. I'm starting me running. I kind of don't like to sit there and dwell. And like me and B, we FaceTime, what, 3-4 times a day. We text throughout the day because obviously we still both go to work. We have our little catch-ups in the evening, and that's it. Hopefully, as I say, now we can go outdoors and all that, but he's not a very outdoorsy person, my bee, and hopefully we can do. Once Bubba's here, which she should be here very, very soon, we might be able to get him out and we can take her out for walks. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Or even try and get the dogs out, because I say I could do with a bit more exercise, get the prepping for the run. He's always moaning that he's not fit, so we could have a little sesh outside, walking the dogs, doing a bit of fitness. I might even take me hula hoop out, could do some like little keep fit or yoga in the park. But yeah, so as I say, that is a big thing I think as well. But just think, my lovelies, when you do see each other, you're going to appreciate it. So once everything's back to normal, all those moments after that you can spend with each other, you're going to appreciate it a lot more, because we've now been there where we physically couldn't see each other. We physically couldn't be together. And yeah, I think it will help a lot of relationships blossom again. I know there's been quite a few that have unfortunately crumbled in the circumstances, but I know there's a good fair few that have actually carried on and got through it. So kudos to you. Whether if it's carried on, well done. If it hasn't, there's always something out there. Everything happens for a reason, I believe. And let's get on to another thing, but let me have a quick drink and then we'll have another little catch up, all right? Right, I wanted to have a little bit of a change up, because I don't know if it's because I've got my hair up, I started to get a bit of a headache. Another thing, so on the topic of like having a healthy mind, as I say, someone said having the bath, putting an eye mask on and having just a little bit of low music, love that. Another one, and I'm all here for this, retail therapy. Need I say more? Have you seen my channel and the amount of hauls I do? Your girl here loves a bit of retail therapy. Now, there will be a vlog coming next week, I believe, or the week after. Basically, on bank holiday weekends, you may have noticed, but I do like an upload every single day to cover the weekend and all that. So Easter, we had Thursday as normal, and then Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Easter Monday, Tuesday as normal. So you get like 6 uploads out of me. And I will be doing that again for May bank holiday. So when is May bank holiday? Let me have a look and I can give you the actual date, my lovelies, all right? So next Thursday, because this is going to go up Tuesday. So Thursday's upload, the 29th, you're then going to have an upload from me 29th, 30th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So you're going to see my face quite a bit. And with that, you will see we've had a little shopping vlog. It was our first shopping trip from post-lockdown. We went out and about. I took the Friday and Monday off work and we went to a splurge. We went to all of the outlets. Well, not all the outlets. We went to some like within a 3-hour radius of us. We went Ashford, Braintree and Bicester, Bicester, however you say it. And let me tell you now, my lovelies, there is going to be a separate haul of everything that I bought because I did get a bit carried away. But online shopping, to shop shopping as I call it, you can't compare, especially clothing. My God, have I missed Primark. If you haven't gone and seen that haul, best believe you better go and check it out. I'll leave it up there down above. You know the drill. I was in my element when I went back in that shop, and I am probably going to pop in there maybe about a week or so just to see if there's any newness come in, because we may or may not have another little bag just waiting to be filmed, you know. But if I can add to it, you know your girl's going to add to it. But yes, retail therapy. And there's nothing like walking in a shop, picking something up, putting it against you, thinking, maybe yes, maybe no. Feeling the quality of the texture, having a look around, looking at all the different styles instead of just scrolling and, yeah, scrolling. It's not the same, it's not the same. And also on the topic of retail therapy, you know me, you know I love a bit of Klarna. If you don't know what Klarna is, this isn't an ad or sponsored or anything like this, but if you know me, you know I love this. So it's basically an interest-free payment option, interest free if you keep to the payments, because obviously if you miss the payments you will get charged. So some shops do Klarna pay in 30 and some shops do Klarna pay across 3, where you would have the monthly installments split across 3 months, as I say. But some shops, depending on spend and all of that, will only give you pay in 30 days, which is still better than nothing. I saw the other day there's a new app called Butter. Now Butter sounds like a bit of me. It is basically another Klarna, however it's slightly different. So Butter, you can either pay half when you order and half the following month, or you split it across 3 months, or you split it across 4 months. If you do half and then half, it's interest free, but if you spread it across the 3 or 4 month installments, there's like a small interest charge. However, my lovelies, Butter has so many more what I call expensive shops. So Klarna is very high street, like misguided bits and bobs, but a lot of places now are doing Klarna. I'm surprised at the list going up. But Butter, it has a shop on there, and when I saw it I was like, oh my god, it might just help me get something I've always wanted. I'm not going to get it yet because I'm very torn between this style and another style, but it's a handbag shop. They have Louis Vuitton on there. They have Balmain. They have Balenciaga. They have IKEA. They have Currys. They have Argos. They have got so many. If you've got the app or download it, it's called Butter. It's like a white logo with purple writing. I'm not promoting it, all of that jazz, but you know me, I do like to have a good spend up, and if I can find something that helps spread the payments, absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. But yes, haven't tried it out yet, but as I say, it is there on my app screen. Let me just show you. It's right there in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Butter. Might not have been able to see it, but as I say, it's a white logo with purple writing. So yes, my lovelies, retail therapy is a great thing. I think we're going to round it out on how can we sum this up. Mental health should be an issue that is not to be shunned. I still find there's a very big stigma attached to something or someone if they want to speak about mental health. It's almost like a taboo subject, like sex and like partners and all that. It's not. Everyone has a mind. Everyone has a different state of health. And when people need that little bit of extra help with their mental health, God, that was a bit of a tongue twister, they shouldn't be denied it. They shouldn't be made to feel ashamed, embarrassed, humiliating, nothing like that. It is perfectly normal. And you know what, it takes a lot when people are struggling, the people that come forward and say, look, I need help, that takes so much, because the people who unfortunately can't come forward, or they just don't have it in them to come forward yet, that is a struggle, which, I mean, I can't even imagine what that could be, because I've always been very vocal with mine, and I've always been quite prominent if I've needed to speak to someone. But I know through people close to myself who have had problems, and they didn't speak up, and things have happened, and unfortunately some people are no longer here with us because of that. And that, I think, is the biggest shame, because there should be the help out there, there should be the support, there should be the lifelines. There's so many charities like the Samaritans and Mind and all of that, where if you just want to talk to them, Samaritans, you can even email now. So if you don't want to be on a phone and speak to them, you can just email them, which I've done several times, because I find it's easier for me to like type and vent out that way, instead of having to like repeat myself vocally, because sometimes it can get a bit repetitive. And I do think sometimes, Shan, you sound like a broken record, love, like give it a break. But it's better to vocalise it and not internalise it, because if you internalise it, it like eats up at you, and that's not, it's not good. I mean, sometimes that is the only way that people can deal with, but honestly, I always say this, right, my inbox on my Instagrams, which you'll find in the description box, are always open. If you want to leave me a message in the comments, or you want to give me a DM, anything, my inbox is always open, because I always think what's the saying, a problem spoken is a problem shared, or a problem shared is a problem halved. I'm not entirely sure, but literally my inbox is always open. If you are a regular here and you have messaged me, you know we sit there and have a chit chat. I love having a chit chat with you in the comments. I don't want anyone to feel that they're in a place where they're alone and they can't talk, because there's always someone to talk to. You don't have to speak to your partner if you feel you can't. You don't have to speak to family if you feel you can't. You can speak to a complete outsider, a complete stranger, or a doctor, or anyone, and they will be completely unbiased. Is it biased or unbiased? Unbiased. I think they won't take a side. They will just literally listen to you as a normal person, and then they will try and help you along the way and see what you need. As I say, I do hope now with everything opening up that those resources are going to be there for people to actually go and sit in a room with someone and speak to someone, as opposed to a telephone call. That's what I will try and establish when I have my little telephone conversation with a nurse, when I have my pill checkup. But yes, I do think with everything opening up, there could be a little bit of a rise in like anxiety and perhaps depressions in a way also, because for some people I think it could be not sad, but say for example you've gone from pre-COVID life to COVID life. They may have adjusted and like they might like being in their little bubble now, staying indoors, working from home, getting their food delivered, but in a way that's, you kind of become a recluse. And I know it's going to be very hard for some people to like get back out there and live, but as I've said before, if you see your neighbour and they've not been out, maybe just like invite them around for a cup of tea. Or now we can go outside and the weather's nice, if they've got a little wall, have a cup of tea on the wall, and just slowly, if they're like permitting, don't like force them or nothing like that, slowly edge them out, because they might think, oh, to go out I've got to go out shopping or like to a supermarket and that's going to be way too much. Just little baby steps. Go in a garden, go to a neighbour's in the garden, sit out on the wall, whatever you can do, because I do think a lot of people are going to need support, and I don't think there is enough support for everyone at the moment. So it comes down to like us as like human beings. If we see a neighbour, family, friend member, whatever, even a stranger, if you see a stranger in the street, I've always said it, a smile don't cost nothing. If you see someone looking a bit down and you think, oh, just give them a smile or like a little nod or a wave, like you've not got to go up and be like, hi, how are you? Just like an acknowledgement, because that might be all they want sometimes. People may feel that they're not seen or not heard, and if say a complete stranger smiles or waves or nods and just acknowledges their presence, it could do a lot for them in the day. But yes, I'm rambling as always. I've quite enjoyed our little sit down with Shan. Well, I haven't really been sitting down much. I've been laying over, let's be perfectly honest, because as I say, it's very comfy and chill vibes in this, my lovelies. But yes, as I say, I will try and leave any links down below to charities, anything like that, if you need to speak to anyone, because I do think it's important. And as I say, my inboxes on the lifestyle or the food are always open for you. So I need to prop myself up for this one. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do, guys. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. As I say, leave me a comment, anything to do with this video, if you want to chat, any future topics you want me to touch upon. We've done quite a few. What have we done? I've done quite a few now. Well, I say quite a few. We do one a month, so this is my fourth, and clearly my mind is not with it because I can't remember. What was our last one? Last one was living through COVID, because it had been a year anniversary. We done Learn to Love Yourself for February, to look through and like just a bit of self-love and appreciation. And then January we had 2 Get to Know Me's. We had a Get to Know Me originally, which was my very first video, and we've had our sit down with Shan last COVID, so last 2020, first lockdown. We had a little bit of a one where I was a complete meltdown, to be perfectly honest, because I just couldn't adjust. I was in a bad place then. But I like these videos because not only do they give you something to look back on, but I see how I've changed and how I've grown, and just rambling all the time, you know, that is one thing that will never change. But yes, take care. As I say, remember my inbox is always open. Don't ever feel like you're not being heard or not being listened to. Drop me a message, leave me a comment. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!